Hey guys, Airgun Angie with Gateway to Airguns. This is my next grip review. This is the Umarex Origin in 25 cal. Really quick, I want to say thank you to Gateway to Airguns for making this video possible. Go check them out, guys. www.gatewaytoairguns.org. www.gatewaytoairguns.org. Okay, so the Umarex Origin is an unregulated PCP. It comes in 22 and 25 caliber. Let's go ahead and go through some of the aesthetics. Okay, from butt to muzzle, total length is 43.1 inches long. The rifle barrel is 22.9 inches, and the length of pull is 14, which is pretty average. Total weight without an optic is 6.8 pounds. It has a rubber butt pad, which is actually quite thick to absorb any recoil. Most PCPs don't have much recoil unless they're big bore PCPs. So the rubber butt pad is attached to a very slim ambidextrous gray synthetic stock, great for small hands. And located on the back of the action, you'll find the easily accessible hammer spring adjustment screw. It has a two-stage adjustable trigger and a manual safety. It is side lever action, is perfect for a three-finger grab and pull. Open sights are not an option on this one. So above the side lever action is the Picatinny / dovetail rail. Yes, the Picatinny / dovetail. This makes it so you can either use the 11mm dovetail scope mounts or Picatinny mounts, which is super sweet to have both of those options. Then there's the easy to read pressure gauge with the max fill of 250 bar. Now on the belly of the gun you'll find a rubber cover which protects the fill port and the bleed valve from any unwanteds. Then there's the rifle barrel with a barrel band and an integrated sound suppressor. It has a threaded muzzle to allow you to attach moderators, and for most moderators you're gonna need an adapter. Umarex includes 2 8-round mags and a fill probe. Okay, so operation. How do we operate the Umarex Origin? Well, like I said, there are no sights, so you must mount an optic. Well, I mean, you don't have to, but for great accuracy, you probably should. So on this one, I have the Hawke Vantage 30 4-16 by 50. After you've mounted your scope, it's a PCP. We're gonna need some air, so choose whether you're gonna use a hand pump or a tank. In my case, I'm gonna use my tank. Attach the fill probe to the fitting on the tank and then remove the rubber cover. Insert the probe into the fill port and fill to the max of 250 bar. Once you've filled it, bleed the valve and remove the fill probe. Then load the 8-shot magazine with your desired ammo. Pull the side cocking lever back, insert the mag into the breech, push the cocking lever forward, disengage the safety, and pull the trigger. Okay, so performance. Now there's an out-of-the-box performance, and then I did make a hammer spring adjustment, which does change things a little bit. The trigger pull out the box was about 1.5 pounds. After the hammer spring adjustment, I got 1 pound 15.8 ounces and 2 pounds 3.4 ounces. So about a 2-pound trigger. What kind of hammer spring adjustment did I do? I turned it all the way in and then I backed it out 1 full turn. What about the noise level, guys? Well, is it backyard friendly? It depends on where your backyard is, really. At the muzzle, I got 96.7 decibels, and then 20 yards away, I got 95.3. But wait a minute, like I said, it has a threaded muzzle. So I went ahead and I attached first the adapter and then my 0 dB tactical and checked it out with that at the muzzle and 20 yards away. And at the muzzle with that on there, I got 95 decibels. So it really didn't quiet it much at the muzzle. And then 20 yards away, I got 92.3. And there are other moderators, bigger ones that would quiet it down even more. This is, I think, the middle grade. Go check out the 0 dB moderators at www.airgunsafarizona.com. Okay, on to accuracy, velocity, shot count, and of course, the very last thing, how does it perform offhand? Before I get to shooting, I will say that the accuracy out the box was not that great. So what did I do? I cleaned the barrel. It was pretty dirty. It was very, very dirty. So I encourage you guys, when you get a new gun, especially the less expensive ones, clean your barrel for the most promising accuracy. And I also shot some super cheap pellets over the chronograph from full to empty 3 times just to make sure there wasn't any kind of mechanical issues going on, to make sure it was consistent, and I got some good consistency out of them. I already tested this at 25 yards with a whole bunch of ammo, and I tried to pick out the favorite. So what I have here are the MK2s from JSB, then I have the H&N-Sport Baracuda Hunter Extremes, and some Nielsen Specialty ammo. These ones are 33.5 grain slugs. So let's go ahead and check this out. I'm going to start with the MK2s first. So that was actually pretty good. Let's check out the H&N Sport Baracuda Hunter Extremes and see how they do. These are 28.24 grains. A little bit lighter than the Mark IIs, but what they did in my testing, they did very well. So hopefully they'll perform the same or better. Better be fine too in front of the camera. All right, I'm going to go for the target below. Shoot to the right. So off camera, guys, the Hunter Extremes actually did just as well as the MK2s. So I was kind of surprised they didn't do that great this time. So I'm gonna have to go with the MK2s this far, but let's check out one more, the NSA slugs. They're 33.5 grain. Oh. I'm not sure where the fourth one hit. I'm gonna shoot one more. Okay, so the first group wasn't that great, but like I said, off camera, guys, these things perform great. They get in front of the camera and it's like, ah, and they just spread out all over the place. Well, I still had an extra target left, so I decided that I was going to go ahead and use it and do a second 5-shot group. Which I actually got a better group than that. Let me shoot another group down below. I got a better group than that off camera. I'm gonna shoot down at the target below it and see what we get. I am aiming at a different aim point, guys, so. The ultimate favorite out of these three, JSB Mark II's 33.95 grain. Absolutely no surprise. The Umarex Origin seems to like a little bit heavier of a pellet. So we'll go with that for the rest of the testing. Normally what I would do on the full to empty is I would just shoot the center bowl. But this time, just to be, so you guys can see more specifically what each mag does, and you're only gonna get 2 mags plus 2 or 3 shots. So I'm getting about 18, 19 shots out of this. But I did adjust my hammer spring, if you remember in the range time video. So from full to empty with the MK2s, the JSB MK2s, the velocity was, I got an average velocity of 835 feet per second. The maximum was 866 and the minimum was 776. That gives you an average of 52 foot-pounds of energy. All right, that was mag 1. So the first mag shot a really nice group, a little low and a little right. The second mag, it was a little right, but a little higher than the first one. This is one of the reasons why it's so important to get to know your gun. Mag 2, and we are at 2,300 PSI about. This is when it's really gonna start dropping fast. Yep, see, that's it. So from full to empty, with the hammer spring adjustment, I got 18 to 20 shots. Now because I tightened the hammer spring, it's given me less shots than it would have out the box. Out the box, I got 24. Actually about 20 to 21. The velocity dropped below from what the first shot was, but I did get 24 before it completely was depleted. Okay guys, very last test offhand. How does it, or how do I, or how do we perform offhand together? Nice. Nice. Oh, I missed that one. And that one. And that one. Oh, I thought I had that one. Might be the last one here, guys. Got it. And that's it, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's it. So, offhander? Abso-freaking-lutely. All right, on to cons and pros. So, are there any cons? Well, yes. The first one, the rubber cover over the fill port and bleed valve, it's a little bit of a hassle sometimes. If you pull it out too far, the first little knobby thing they have in there can be kind of a pain to get back in its place. So that's one con. The fact that you have to have an additional part, the fill probe, is another con. Another con is really keep an eye on it. Once you get under 2,000 PSI, the pressure drops fast. Okay, so that's pretty much all the cons. Now on to pros. Does it have pros? Of course it has pros. For an entry-level PCP, this one performs well. And remember, the purpose of the Umarex Origin is to bridge the gap between Springer and PCP owners. Some Springers won't get into PCPs because it's too expensive. Well, this allows you to get into PCPs without the expense of the other options. It has the ever-ready pressure system, which makes it super hand pump friendly. It kind of is like maybe a 401k plan. You pump and it kind of matches you a little bit. So that's really, really cool. The option to be able to access the hammer spring adjustment screw without taking the action out of the stock. The optics rail being Picatinny and dovetail, I just get over that. That's a sweet option. Super sweet option. So all in all, the Umarex Origin would be a great entry-level PCP. You don't need the expensive compressors or tanks. Just get a hand pump, and with the Ever-Ready pressure system, it helps you to be able to pump it with less pumps. So a little bit less of a workout than it might normally be. Whether you get it in 22 or 25, its lightweight, slim design is fantastic for offhand shooting. So this one right here would be a great squirrel hunter. I would like to take a moment to say thank you to Gateway to Airguns. Thank y'all so much for making these videos possible. If you guys have not checked them out, you really, really should. If you're an air gunner, you like air guns, you like shooting, go check out www.gatewaytoairguns.org. There is something for every air gunner alive. I promise. Well guys, I guess that's it for the Umarex Origin 25. I'm Airgun Angie with Gateway to Airguns. Thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all don't just have a good day, have an awesome one. See ya. Then load the 8-shot magazine with your desired ammo.